He watched the dog. She showed no signs of rabies. He held his hand out. She approached on her belly, tail thumping on the concrete. She sniffed his hand. Her nose was cold and wet. Her rough tongue licked his palm. He giggled. His messy diaper grew wet as he peed. Her giant, shaggy head plopped in his lap with a happy yip. Her tail never stopped wagging. "You're affectionate." Luke smiled. He'd always gotten along better with animals than people. Animals didn't judge him or make fun of him. They accepted him for who he was. They didn't care about his diapers. He tentatively stroked the top of her head with his fingertips to see how she'd react. She shoved her head into his palm. His smile widened and he fully relaxed, giving her a good scratch. Her curly outer coat was long, bristly, and rough while her undercoat was thick, short, downy soft curls. Her pelt felt very similar to Mr. Walton's wolf dog. Her shaggy head moved after a few more scratches. For the first time all night, he realized the poppers on his sleeper were wide open. His saggy, soggy, messy diaper was on display for the world to see. A cold sweat broke out on his skin. Immediately, his heart sped up. His still fuzzy, hazy mind shut down in blind terror. His chest constricted. His fingers shook as he struggled to snap the poppers closed. He fumbled, terror-numb fingers clumsy. Finally, he managed to close them all. His diaper was safely hidden once more. His pulse wouldn't stop racing and he couldn't stop shaking. A warm, rough tongue licked his cheek. A warm, heavy head pressed into his chest, radiating calm reassurance. Just like Cookie used to do. The sensations brought him out of himself and distracted him. Warmth and love enveloped him, making him feel safe. He hugged the dog. She pressed her head tighter to him with a reassuring small whine. Once his heart slowed back to normal and he could breathe, could think, he let go. The dog pulled away. He glanced up. No one was looking at him. If anyone had noticed his exposed diaper tonight, surely they'd have laughed. Prudence must have noticed his diaper. Her warm smiles were smothered laughter. Tears pricked his eyes. He didn't want to think about her. A huge paw pressed on top of his leg, a wet nose nudged his cheek. "Huh? What is it, gal?" The dog held his pacifier in her teeth. Just like Cookie. He held out his hand, palm up. She dropped the parkie in it. "This is crazy." "Good girl." He laughed in amazement and scratched an ear in reward. Her tail wagged. She went and retrieved his bear, holding it gingerly with her teeth so she didn't damage the toy. He stared at her, eyes wide in disbelief. "Fiji." The dog sat right in front of his wheelchair, not moving until he took his bear.